Hello guys, I am Manav and welcome to the seventh part of this YouTube video lecture series. And in this part, we will discuss what is open source and how GitHub supports and promotes open source. So yeah, let's get started. So open source is a term that originally referred to open source software. Versus open source software is the code that is designed to be publicly accessible. So anyone can see, modify, and distribute the code as they see fit. So if I try to break this down for you, it means you will get an application, final build of an application, plus you will get the source code so that you can edit that source code and modify it according to your needs. So this is called open source. So let's search what are the open source softwares that are available to us. If I type open source software on Google, you will get freeware, Linux, Ubuntu. If I talk about Linux and Ubuntu, these are open source operating systems. Even Android, it's an open source operating system. Okay, these are the softwares that are available to us, which are open source. That means you can edit the code of these softwares and modify it according to your needs. If I talk about what are the softwares which are not open source, some of the examples are like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. You will get the final build, but you won't get the code, source code, so that you can edit or modify that version. And you can also see that these softwares like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel, you cannot modify and distribute it. But if you talk about Linux or Ubuntu, you can modify the source code of these open source operating system, and you can then distribute it further. This is the theory of open source. Now, if you talk about GitHub, if a person makes a project, suppose a login portal, he can publish that login portal on the GitHub so that other people can also use that. And other people obviously won't use that as it is that guy created. For example, now you want that login portal to be used in your project. You will download the code and now you will edit the code, modify the code, and then use it in your project. And then you will publish it further so that your project is completed. So this is the open source theory that GitHub supports. Moreover, suppose you have made a project, obviously, then there is some other person who might use your project or your part of the code. So this is all a cycle and it is called open source. Okay. So this was all for this video. I just wanted to make you familiar with the idea of open source, what is open source, and why do we like appreciate open source this much. So for the next video, we'll meet you soon. Till then, bye bye, guys.